Good day, and welcome to the United Service Workers Union Local 355 Joint Apprenticeship Training Center. My name is Brian Keating, and it is my honor and privilege to serve as the director. We are accredited by the National Center for Construction, Education, and Research, the NCCER. Our instructors are certified by the NCCER and are also active working members in the HVAC industry. It is through the NCCER curriculum and the vast experience that our instructors have combined in the classroom that make for an extremely powerful teaching instrument. Our apprentices, as they enter the program, must first and foremost go through our basic safety course and also through OSHA, Occupational Safety and Health Administration's OSHA 10 course. I, as well as two of my instructors, are authorized by OSHA to give the OSHA 10 course and the OSHA 30 course, certify the student or apprentice, and then have the cards issued in their name. That particular card is mandatory on most construction sites here in New York. We are also very much involved in the safety of our apprentices and our journeymen that are already out in the field. We here each week, as an apprentice comes in for their class and related instructions, have what we call a toolbox talk. A toolbox talk is simply a 10-minute talk and conversation with the apprentice or the student on a specific topic, whether it be ladder safety or electrical safety. Having said that, our apprentices now, with their newfound enthusiasm, their new education in that particular safety, bring that out into the field to the journeymen. Some of the journeymen who have been on the job have a tendency sometimes to become somewhat complacent with their safety, with their personal protective equipment. Our apprentices now bring this newfound enthusiasm out into the field and have re-energized the journeymen. They now have the safety coming to the forefront once again in their own minds, and we find that we have a much safer workforce out in the HVAC industry. We here at the United Service Workers Union Local 355 Joint Apprenticeship Training Center pride ourselves on being a state-of-the-art training facility. Now, training-of-the-art training facility has many different meanings to many different people, as it does us here also. This is a learning institution, and as a learning institution, we strive to have the optimum learning environment. The optimum learning environment takes in many different aspects. One, we like to have approximately about 40 square foot per student in each classroom. We like to give each student about a 30 by 24 work area, enough room for their notebook, their textbook, a bottle of water, and this way they're not fighting elbow to elbow with someone who's jammed next to them, because what ends up happening, it becomes a barrier to learning. They are no longer concentrating on the material being taught by the instructor, but more so of their not being comfortable, of them being too tight in their classroom area. Also in the classroom, we like to maintain a 72.5 degree temperature. This way, once again, the student is comfortable and not thinking about why am I cold or why am I hot, and focusing on the lesson being taught. These are some of the things that make an optimum learning environment just that, an optimum learning environment. The second part of being a state-of-the-art training facility are the mechanical trainers themselves. We have Hamden engineering trainers here, which are a terrific way of introducing to a new apprentice who is new to the industry a trainer for gas heat or a trainer for a rooftop package unit, where it is in a lab setting. Now, there's a lot to be said about that, because a lot of people say a lab setting is not real life, and that is very true. However, when you are first starting out that lab work that you're doing is so instrumental in getting you to understand how things work and the order in which to do so. That also comes into troubleshooting. Once again, I like to emphasize the Joint Apprenticeship Training Center. Having said that, that is our related instructions being given here at the training center, and our signatory contractors with their journeymen educating our apprentices in the field with real live equipment. So they're able to take that laboratory work and now bring it out into the field, and the journeymen take that and the real life experience and bring it together, which makes a well-rounded apprentice, which as the time goes on and they progress, will make for a well-rounded journeyman, one that will be an essential part of our signatories' growth in the future. Having said that, what I'd like to do at this time is take you for a brief tour of the training facility so that you can see firsthand exactly what I'm referring to.
Here in classroom number 2, we have our sheet metal worker apprentice, level 2, going over blueprints, a very important document in the construction industry. There are many lines and symbols that must be learned, and the apprentice must become proficient at using this on each and every job.
Hi, my name is Roger Zeiss. I'm a teacher here at the Joint Apprenticeship Training Program. I've been a teacher here now for about 8 years. I enjoy working with the kids, trying to give back the 32 years plus experience that I have to them. The kids seem to enjoy it, and I have a lot of fun doing it. It's been a real pleasure.
Here in our welding department, in the back of our shop, we have our sheet metal workers level 2 honing their welding skills under the watchful eye of their instructor.
Hi, my name is Nick Donahue. I'm a second-year apprentice, and I'm in the sheet metal industry. And sheet metal has really taken my life to the next step. Most of my friends are stuck in dead-end jobs, and I'm one of the few who actually know where he's going and have a plan.
This is room number 4. We like to call this our lab room. As you can see, we have the Hampton Engineering trainer. This is a gas trainer a demonstrator where we can use propane to heat up the thermocouple, and we have various faults that we can put in for the students to start to understand how that works. This one here is a little more advanced with an electronic ignition. This is a duplicate of that, gas trainers. Here we happen to have a Hampton Engineering refrigeration trainer. Somewhat of a mock-up of a walk-in box, if you will, with all the refrigeration apparatus that would be required to keep a product cold. Very useful, and again, you can see that I have fault switches that I can put in, which owns the apprentice's troubleshooting abilities. Over here we have some very basic series parallel circuit trainers as they first come in. Somewhere between 82 and 94% of all service calls that our apprentices and journeymen go on are electric in nature. So it is extremely important that they have a thorough understanding of electric. And this is where it all starts, with the basic series parallel circuit. The one behind me right here takes it a step further with momentary switches, relays, contactors. Again, this is all plug-and-play wiring, which is absolutely superb for training because the trainers will virtually last forever. This particular trainer is an air conditioning control system trainer. Basically what's happened here is they've taken all of the guts, if you will, out of a rooftop package unit and put it on to this board. And you can see the wiring diagram, which is outstanding for a new student. One of the advantages that I particularly like with this machine is you'll notice here that I can throw any one of these switches or combination of these switches and put a fault into this system. Now I can tell the student that the customer is called and has stated that there's no heat in their particular space. Now the student has to come in and troubleshoot this unit and find out why there is no heat. It is an excellent and a superb way of training a student in a laboratory setting.
Here in room 4, we are working with the apprentices on some of the Hamden trainers, the electric trainers, where they will learn how to use their meters in a proficient manner. This is a typical setting. This is HVAC Level 2 with their instructor, Bob Pilla.
Here is one of our Hamden Engineering building management trainings. Laptop plugs into this. We have a constant volume air handler and a variable air volume unit. Very, very important. Great training for our students.
Hi, my name is Jason. I'm a fifth-year apprentice in the Local 355 program. To me, the apprenticeship has helped me out tremendously. I've met a great group of guys I'm friends with since year 1. I've also met a lot of instructors who have various different backgrounds in the field, and it's nice to meet them outside of work because it's a lot easier to talk to them. If you have a question, you can go over something that you saw during the day, you can approach them and ask them, and they have more time to sit down with you and explain things to you as opposed to trying to answer a question in the field, which, on the time constraints, jobs need to get done on time. People don't always have time to explain everything to you. They just need something done. It's also helped me out in the welding field. One of the welding instructors here took his time, really got me ready for the X-ray welding test, which I think is my second year, and I'm very grateful for that.
I hope you've enjoyed the brief tour of the United Service Workers Union Local 355 Joint Apprenticeship Training Center. I wanted to go over a few things with you before I close. We have 5 New York State Department of Labor approved programs: steam fitting, sprinkler fitting, sheet metal worker, piping, and plumbing. And we have 1 non-registered program in HVAC service. We also have taught our students, from the day we opened the door, about their carbon footprint, about running units efficiently, about talking to their customers about filter changes, belt changes, coil cleanings, in order to keep these units running efficiently and to keep their utility bills at the lowest possible way. We are formally bringing into the program in 2013 a course called G-Pro, Green Professionals, for people who build, renovate, maintain buildings. What this does is it brings the green building thought pattern into our program and into our apprentices. I have taken the fundamentals of green building and also the operations and maintenance of green building. I am slated at the end of the month to complete my course in construction management. I will then be authorized to give that course here at the Joint Apprenticeship Training Center. So in 2013, I'm thinking about March of having that course be given here. That course I expect to be given to our apprentices and also to our journeymen that are currently out in the field. In closing, I'd like to share with you something that I always found, I would say, fascinating. When I was in the field, prior to me becoming the director here, I was an instructor here and working for one of the signatory contractors. I had an apprentice call me and ask me a question on a unit, how to fix it, how to install it, or how to repair it. Not just me, all of my instructors and the apprentices, we share our cell numbers with them. You have to remember now that we are competitors, the company I work for and the company that they work for. I always found it unique that an instructor would take the time out of their day to help an apprentice. I also found that very rewarding, and I know my instructors do as well. On any given night, you can come to the parking lot and see all the different companies and logos and vans out there, and then come into the classroom and see them all together, sharing stories of work and things that they've learned and that they've been able to apply. I hope you've enjoyed this short presentation that I've done. If you have any questions at all, or wish to come down and see the facility, please call me at area code 631-589-5880. I thank you for your time and appreciate you watching our short presentation.